think we all realize that friendships are extremely important. I don't think we need to have a whole bunch of studies or conversations about the value of friendship, except maybe we do. Because I just thought it was great because what we do out here is get together regularly every Sunday at 1:30, and we do stuff within our group to guide each other to try to be the best people that we can be. And so I was just thinking about this, and the government, the National Institute of Health, the ones that brought us the lovely 3+ years of fantastic social gathering events and such, with us being 6 feet apart, not being able to see Granny die and everything else. The NIH, right before this massive forced separation of people, the NIH compiled and did a big study, blah, 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 right here. And in their infinite genius, they say social connection is a pillar of lifestyle medicine. Humans are wired to connect, and this connection directly affects their health.
I want to know how much they spent trying to find out that, you should have friends,
Yeah, it's kind of,
as a taxpayer.
It's kind of funny because this is right before the scam, and this scam goes, I don't need, it's like I mentioned this a lot, I don't think y'all need anybody to say, when you have somebody that you care about and you have a genuine hug, a genuine touch, a genuine handshake, how that changes your mood, how it helps. It releases all these chemicals inside of your body that reduce stress. And this study, just from the government alone, shows the benefits of being friendly and having social gatherings. This is what's amazing to me, is that our government spends a bunch of money doing something that we already know is right.
Yeah.
We already know that whenever you have regular gatherings with trusted friends, you get a direct benefit from that. You feel better, you're calm, cool. But the government can spend a lot of money to verify and prove this, like scientifically prove it. And then they instantly say, no. It kind of goes to what we were talking about last week with not appreciating our soldiers.
Yeah.
And if we are losing our soul in America, which I think we're going to be able to regain, I just believe it. But if we don't come to the realization that we have really big forces out there that are trying to keep us apart, that are trying to destroy social gatherings, trying to destroy you going to see your grandpa or grandma, putting the fear of worse than God, fear of a lonely and horrible death, and they actually study it right before, just to find, even though they've already been studying it since after World War II. It's kind of crazy because right here the government says individuals need connections in their lives in the workplace and at home. Fostering these connections is critical to health and wellness. This is their abstract right in the beginning of this study. Lifestyle medicine is the growing specialty that works to formalize the counseling and prescriptions for healthy habits, including regular exercise, nutrition, foods, stress management, smoking cessation, and the moderation of alcohol. And this is incorporated into group gatherings. These people are amazing.
Well, what gets me is they just want to spend money on stuff that, hey, in the daytime the sun's bright. Let's do a study on that. Let's give a couple $1 million to do a study that the sun's up and it's bright, then at night it's not. So let's do a study on that. It doesn't make any sense what I'm saying.
Right. I mean, we intuitively know as humans that when I see my buddy Ricky that's over here, he hugs me about, I see him almost a lot of the mornings, and more often than not, we'll give each other a hug, and I just feel good. I feel good after, just like whenever you came in.
Just one
Yeah,
a day?
no, I mean, yeah, he'll give me some. Like sometimes he won't stop. Like we're attached until like lunchtime.
Does he whisper in your ear? Are y'all dancing while you're hugging?
I got to try to. I don't wear flip. I got my steel-toe boots on. Was great. The Exercise is Medicine campaign helped bolster support for the exercise prescriptions that doctors were telling. Doctors are actually prescribing. Hey, go out and walk. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Go out and walk. Now this is from the government again. The time is right for quote Connection is Medicine campaign, asking patients how many close friends they have and if they belong to any organizations or groups that meet regularly. And they are giving doctors a list of questions to ask about how friendly you are, how often are you meeting, and then what sort of positive things are you doing in those gatherings?
Yeah.
Because they know from their science throughout this whole thing, all of these chemicals released in the body from positive social gatherings. Researchers concluded that social isolated individuals, both men and women, have an increased risk of mortality, like they die way earlier than normal. They found that for both men and women, being unmarried as well as infrequent participation in religious activities were associated with social isolation. And loneliness is not the same thing as social isolation. And they go on to say loneliness can occur in large groups of people, and they subscribe all these things to psychiatrists to try to figure that out. And even in, y'all have all heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Most people have, but in his 5 important psychological hierarchy of needs, and one of the top 5s is love and belongingness. Like, all right, so we know love and belongingness is a physical, mental, and chemical need inside of the human.
Okay.
All right, so why would our government think it is okay to keep people separated ever? I think it's a question we should ask. If the government immediately before the scam says, hey, do you know what? Being together is super healthy. The government
a lot
says
of benefits, right?
The government says in their study how it releases chemicals that boost immunity. If you're regularly gathering several times a month or every Sunday or what, if you're regularly meeting with good trusted friends, it's a health benefit. They go on to say that they just call it out. Almost half of Americans are obese. And there's evidence of the relationship between body mass index and the social connection of those that have more social support groups. So whenever you are more socially active, you are less apt to be obese. Right? So if you're not obese, obviously you're healthier. I did not know this, but this is so with people that have diabetes. It too has been correlated with connectedness, diabetes. Research studies have indicated and identified social connection as a positive influence on health behaviors, as well as the HbA1c levels in individuals living with type 2 diabetes. So if you have diabetes and you're regularly getting together with trusted friends, it actually changes your blood. That's amazing too.
Well, that goes back to the water theory we talked about and stuff like that. So
yeah, we're all water. Yeah. Just a little side note. I was thinking about that. If y'all haven't seen that video on how we're all connected, which ties into water, it was so humid the other day. I was taking the dogs on a walk, and I was like, all right, well, what's humidity? Well, humidity is water. It's not only in the air that I don't see often, but I actually feel it. It's all around me. It's everywhere. And they say that connections, to get back on the subject, connections help improve the life and health of cancer patients. In a randomized controlled intervention study of breast cancer, the women in the intervention group survived on average 36 months longer, while the control group survived half as long. That's interesting.
That's interesting that they put control groups and keep people separated just to see.
I think it's interesting we've done so many talks on placebos and the power of the mind, and the power of the mind is our energies as friends, because we have a very unique friendship, and our friendship, our energies, no matter who we are or where we are with anybody, they flow. Like, I'm feeling your energy, you're feeling my energy, and we elevate each other. And to understand that emotionally, because you actually feel it, and then to have the government corroborating that whole spiritual and religious and friendship notion in their scientific studies, and then to just halt it, and making plans now publicly on that's going to happen again.
No.
That's a scary proposition. For that insinuates and screams that there are nefarious things happening in minds of evil people to squash the human spirit, and to keep us apart, and to drive wedges instead of places where we can find common ground and build on friendships and work together. They want to make the divides larger and larger and larger. That is a problem.
Well, there's so many ways to look at that one, especially if we all come together and we share knowledge and stuff like that. In the government, they're like, whoa, wait a minute, they're uprising. Oh, nope, let's come out with another pandemic or something like that. And that way we keep them all separate, where they don't talk to her and get to know, we can control the media.
Yeah, we watched a documentary, The Great Awakening. It's a 3-part movie series, and we watched the last one last night, and it was phenomenal. And it dives into some of this subject. So it's for free. Do you remember the name of the website?
Pandemic Series?
Pandemicseries.com is free. They just ask for a donation, and man, it is well done. You should, wow. And it talks about these nefarious characters in the world and their plans, and them openly admitting that, yeah, we know all this. We know. We study it. We study you. And if you want to have your natural human rights of freedom of expression denied to you, then we're going to do as China does, and we're going to have you on a social credit score. And if you don't do what we say you're going to do, you lose your bank account. Just like the truckers in Canada.
Oh, it's happening now.
The biggest problem those truckers did that was so offensive was honking their horns. And for that, you had thousands and thousands of people have their bank accounts frozen. That's scary. Now all of a sudden you can't eat. It's a crazy, crazy proposition. And yeah, wow. Yeah, so these women have breast cancer, and they know if they get in groups, it's okay. They live longer, they get healthy, and a lot of them survive. It's amazing. And they did a cross-sectional study, and this study supports the idea that one way to increase survival in cancer patients is to encourage connection among ovarian cancer patients that this study focused on. Having social connections not only makes ovarian cancer patients enjoy better physical and functioning well-being, it also increases their body's protective mechanisms against cancer through lowering whatever this word is. Cytokine, C-Y-T-O-K-I-N-E.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Correct.
Yeah.
I just heard that was correct.
Bam! Yeah, because we got a fact-checking nurse over here. Yeah, that's amazing. I find it so striking that we as a collective society trust these authoritarian figures because they have a white coat on, or they have a badge on, or they have their label as a teacher or whatever, that, we can't trust our own intuition, our own knowledge. We can't research out for ourselves. We can't read. It is a striking slap in the face to people who think, who critically think and ask questions. Like, oh no, you're too stupid. You can't read.
Well, that's
Did you
the
go to
way-
public school? We trained you not to comprehend.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of the society. They didn't want them. We don't want you to learn anything. We don't want you to think on your own. And then we'll tell you what we want
Yeah,
you
I
to
don't want you to be friends with Matt. No, Matt needs to stay 6 feet apart, and if you touch him, we're arresting your ass.
Yeah. Throw you in jail.
Oh, you're in the Home Depot line, and you need to help your buddy build a deck like you're doing now?
Yeah.
You better not get that close. You better not. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Yeah, so this is what they just did. They did one more thing I just wanted to point out, that the African American communities with high levels of chronic disease, poverty, and crime, in an effort to find methods to encourage physical activity with the ultimate goal of improving health. And this population, walking programs were most effectively implemented when using social marketing, and because they understand how to control the minds of the masses. And participants reported social interaction was the main reason that they participated in the police patrolled walking program. I have one of the great things. How awesome is that? You know, when the cars used to say serve and protect, that the cops would just get out and walk and be friendly with the people and walk through the crime-ridden neighborhoods, and everybody socialize and get to know each other. And this social interaction paired with physical activity helped reduce crime. It helped reduce all these like negative ailments in the hood.
You think they still do that?
No, I haven't. No, they did it for the
never
study.
even heard of it.
Yeah, they did it for the study. Yeah, they instantly cut
Bring
that out.
up. Next
Yeah,
concept.
we can't keep doing that. No.
So here's the benefits. Oh no, we're going to stop.
Yeah, we got to stop that right now. No, we're not going to help anybody. And then old trusted Harvard comes out with this big old report on how it's so awesome for us to be together. And they go on to talk about the mental wiring of the human brain and the energies of the heart. So if we, like, I know my heart feels good when I see Ricky. Ricky's just right here. Y'all can't see him on camera. He's just great. It's same with Umberto. No, there's a few others. It is.
How about your wife?
She's on a different level. That's astral planing. Woo! It's fascinating to me that like Hindus, Buddhists, a lot of spiritual communities, we know these things. We intuitively know that we need to go sit outside in the grass. We need to feel that energy. We need to feel the touch and appreciation of a good friend, and that increases and enriches the happiness and joy that we find in life. And to know that these nefarious characters out in the world want to stop us and are planning to stop us again from doing that is frightening. And I think the only solution is that people become aware. There are these studies. Even Science Daily has one of them, and they're everywhere. And I'll put a link in the description. Because how in the world can we trust any person or institution when we know that being together and getting in groups like this is beneficial for us?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, Matt, you cannot. You cannot come see your buddy Kevin.
Yeah, don't get in a group. You stay home.
And don't understand that energetic field. Like, what kind of energies do we have? Like, our relationship is... like, there's not very many of them where their parents were good friends when they were kids, and then they grow up and have kids, and then those kids are me and you, and then
still close by.
Yeah, and we live close by for most of our life, except for that big period where you're traveling the world and I'm off gallivanting everywhere, building stuff. And man, that is how would I classify that? Like it's a gift. Like it's a gift from the energetic gods. Like,
look, y'all two are good together. Let's keep y'all close by.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like
y'all go do y'all's thing.
Yeah, you didn't know you were when you moved out here. You didn't know you were right down the street from me. We hadn't talked for a couple of years, and then bam, here we go. It's an amazing thing, and I think those friendships, whenever we think about it, the power of a true friend is that even though there's times like you're working Middle East and other places around the world and you're doing your thing, we don't communicate for a while, but those energies somehow, just like the energies they're talking about in all these governmental studies, keep away, but the energetic universe doesn't allow that to happen. We collide back together outside of conscious communication.
Yeah. I think it's strange, kind of getting off subject, but, walking through stores or going somewhere and driving by, how many times have you passed that person and just never knew it? Like you go to the store on a Monday, then you see them, you don't see them, but they're there on a Thursday doing something, and you're close by, and just those connections.
Oh, yeah, old friends that you just happen to be like 20 feet away. Yeah, they're in a parking lot and they're 2 cars over, but y'all don't see each other.
Just take off again.
That's a unique thing.
Let's do a study on that one.
I'm sure they already have. Then it probably would have cost about $50, but they probably sure spent $5 billion.
Taxpayer money, we need it.
Yeah, I mean, you can print it from nothing. It fascinates me in that how if we start to think about and focus on how important the people in our lives are, like I have practically my adopted boy from Guatemala over here. Well, those energies are very similar to ours. Like there may be a week or a month or something goes by, we don't communicate, but the second that we talk or think about each other, he'll call me or call him, and that energetic force, just like talking to your boys, you just it brings this life force inside you out, and you're able to share that love and energy, and it goes into this big cycle of benefit. And I think we should all be acutely aware that there are people that want to stop that they want to stop spiritual gatherings, religious gatherings, social groups. We still have stickers on floors all over the country, staying 6 feet apart. And then you watch them in these talks, they openly talk about it, from Davos to, which is the World Economic Forum, and all these other insane people, that this is coming again. You just get a little break, because we know the human psychology. We know how to force and implement these things. And we better be prepared. We better have our communities. We better have our close-knit friends. We better keep and maintain those relationships for not only our benefit, but for the benefit of the ones that we love and care about so much. Because if they're gone, then who the hell are we going to socialize with? You got to rebuild with a bunch of people that could be extraordinarily nefarious too.
It's the same thing.
It's a dilemma. So with that, I encourage everybody, if you don't have a church or a social group or a men's gathering or women's gathering, or you better find one, and y'all better really I highly encourage you to watch documentaries like the one we just watched, because if we're not on top of our soul and our spirit and what it means to have good community that we can trust and friends that we can rely on, we're doomed. And there's no reason for us to be doomed. We are the majority. People that have care and love and compassion and understanding in their hearts, we reign supreme. We just have this massive fear that we're alone, and we are not. And if any of this resonates with y'all, well, if you're local, just come out. We're 30 minutes from Shreveport, 22 minutes from Marshall, and we have these fantastic conversations all the time, because we believe that if we are not constantly talking about issues that matter, and if we don't communicate and know ourselves, then we damn sure can't know and communicate well with anybody else. And then we certainly will not be able to properly communicate with the infinite intelligence that is all around us. And that's it. Come see us. We'll see you.